I am not sick. In fact, I am at my healthiest in the past 40 years. I have struggled against my weight for a long, long time. When I got married, I was 180 pounds. I went to law school. After the bar, I was 225 pounds. Tuloy-tuloy na yun, umakyat ng umakyat. Until the point when I got into the 270 and even 280 pounds. So it was a real problem. Until my doctor talked to me, and he said, Art, you are a dam about to burst. Sabi ko, what must be done? Sabi niya, isipir mo na yung bibig mo. So, with his help, I was able to reduce slowly. But weight reduction is a problem only in the first 3 to 4 weeks. After that, it's not a problem anymore. Simply because our body adapts, our stomach shrinks. When the stomach shrinks, you cannot eat the same amount of food that you used to eat before. So it was, in effect, a problem that solved itself. The downside, naubusan na po ako ng damit.
I was thinking that you reduced weight because you might be probably preparing to a bigger role. You prepared yourself for a bigger role. Bigger role.
I started reducing in September of 2011.
So you did not anticipate, no?
I did not anticipate.
Yes.
And
Now, you were talking about the prejudicature program that it should be incorporated. That program should be used as a measure in promoting those already in the judiciary. You cited an example, those who are going to the Court of Appeals from the RTC, they should undergo this program, you know.
yes,
You want it to be mandatory. Yeah.
it's supposed to be mandatory now, but it is observed more in
Mandatory
the breach.
provided for by what? It is mandatory provided for by what? By a resolution of the court or what?
By a law, I think, Justice Hermosissima. The prejudicature program.
I think it's a
law.
it's a law.
The prejudicature program is a law. The law says that only applicants who have passed the prejudicature program may be appointed by the chief executive.
Because I was thinking
But
that
there are times when we don't apply that, because if there are no applicants who pass the prejudicature program, then we are free to nominate those who have not passed the prejudicature program. But where there is an applicant who passed the prejudicature program as against one who did not, then the prejudicature program, the law prevails.
okay. Now, do you suggest that we come out with a resolution that the prejudicature program is a must for those who would like to be promoted to the Court of Appeals? Because we might not have control about the applicants coming from the outside. But
No.
for those already with the court, those who are vying for a higher position, can we come out under our rule-making power? Come out with a rule under our rule-making power to make a prejudicature program mandatory for purposes of promotion?
The prejudicature program should be mandatory for those coming from the outside. For those coming from within, perhaps it's a question of qualification to qualify for a position. If you are not RTC judge and then you do not qualify, then you may have a problem.
No, but
But
what
if
what I was saying is that you're an RTC judge, you want to be promoted to the Court of Appeals.
Take the exam.
Take the exams. Now, my next question is, can we, if you know the Chief Justice, will you be willing to come out with a resolution under our rule-making power under Article 8, making mandatory this program for purposes of promotion from the RTC to the Court of Appeals or from the MTC to the RTC?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
But let us take a deeper study of this, because there may be ramifications that we cannot see right now. But essentially, that is my idea, because it will promote professionalism and merits in going to the Court of Appeals. Mawawala yung politika eh. And we can exhibit this to the public.
Now, another thing is that, aside from your adjudicatory functions, because I asked these questions also when Justice Robert was here, no? What other functions do you perform? Aside from adjudicatory functions, administrative functions.
In the court, I am the chair of the Commercial Court Committee, and we are working right now on the rules of the PREA.
Rules of the?
PREA, Corporate Rehabilitation Law. And I am a part of Justice Roberts' academic committee. I am part of the internal rules. We are together in the internal rules committee. And
I think the ethics, you had the ethics committee? Yeah?
no, I am not in the ethics committee.
Oh.
Seems I am not ethical enough.
Yeah. You know, for the information of the public, no? Justice Art, we call him the, and I want him to explain why we call him Mr. Immutability. Can you explain to us, Justice Art, why you are Mr. Immutability?
I believe that for as long as we have the prohibition against second motions for reconsideration, then our judgment should be immutable after the first motion, after the ruling on the first motion for reconsideration. Right now, we have a rule that has tightened up what used to be a wide open practice before. Right now, after the first motion for reconsideration and after the denial, then you go into a second motion for reconsideration, and for it to be considered by the court, you must get the vote of at least 10 members of the court, irrespective of how many there are in the court. If, for example, there are only 12 members attending, you must still get 10. Once this is admitted, then you can, the court can vote in the ordinary way. Now, this is still perceived by some to be unacceptable. So I have now a position paper submitted to Justice Abad, providing for another petition. After finality, then we can have a petition that is almost the equivalent of a relief from judgment. Based,
Relief of judgment under Rule 38. Yeah, that's Rule
yes.
38. But relief of judgment is not available to the Supreme Court. It's only available to the Court of Appeals.
no, we will make it available to
yeah.
our own decision, but only on jurisdictional grounds. Only on jurisdictional grounds.
What about annulment of judgment? Is that possible? Can we entertain petition for annulment of judgment
We can,
in the Supreme Court?
we can make that the title of our rule.
Yeah. Because that's really a problem in the Supreme Court, because we allow petition for relief from judgment in the Court of Appeals and petition for annulled judgment also in the Court of Appeals. But we do not have any remedy in the Supreme Court. In fact, in in the rule on DNA evidence, even if the accused is already convicted by final judgment and he's serving sentence, if it is found out under the DNA rule, if there is a specimen and it's declared that specimen taken from the scene or from the victim is not compatible with the specimen from the accused, and therefore there is a therefore there is an evidence that he did not commit the crime because of the result of the DNA, we can acquit and accuse. That's the rule on the DNA evidence. Is it not, Justice Hart? Yeah, to correct an injustice.
But I think, Your Honor, that right now we have almost solved the
Problem,
immutability problem. It's a question now of getting into the formalities. And the worst is over after Dinagat and after Keppel. These are the...
I think you join me in the Dinagat decision?
Yes.
Yeah.
And...
because he was referring to me as a member of the internal rules, then he would like that I be a member, if he becomes a Chief Justice, a member of the rules to on the rules. I think he's courting my vote.
Ang naging problema po rito, Your Honor, binigyan ako ng problema nung Dinagat case na yan eh. Kasi si Congressman Tupas, masyadong pilyo. Doon sa kanyang impeachment complaint, kinote pa yung aking statement sa Dinagat. At siguro natuwa siya sa sinasabi ko that in the case of Lazarus, I said, we know that resurrection came from a miracle of the Lord. In this case, I said, resurrection came from the miracle of the Supreme Court, and that I cannot accept.
Na isang tanong ko pa, Justice Art. You want that all cases will be referred to the en banc. That's one of your proposals, is it not? To the en banc. There will be no more divisions now. Okay. Is that doable considering the cases